Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Friday. So, I don't have my phone out here because it's uploading a video inside in the kitchen. But I looked at the time and I looked at the weather right before I came out here. So, who wants to guess the time and the weather? I know some people probably think this is so stupid. But then there are other people that are always like, let me guess. Oh my God, I was so close. Oh my God, I was way off. I live for it. So it is currently 6:12 p.m. on Friday evening. And it is currently 76 degrees outside. I even researched that and looked it all up for you guys. I did a lot of research for this video, just so you know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I posted my video from yesterday at I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I just happened to look and I had been uploading it and I was like, when is this? I don't know if it'll ever go through processing. The processing, so there was a situation on YouTube last night. I talked about it yesterday in my video and a lot of you commented on it as well. I posted in the Vloggerinas group and on the vlog community tab, which is usually if I'm not going to vlog where I post, that I was probably going to post my videos today. So there was a processing issue. And what it meant was that, so when you upload a video to YouTube, it goes through this upload. If you do it on your phone, it prepares it, it uploads it, it processes it, and it checks it. If you do it on a computer, it doesn't do the preparing part of it. It doesn't show that part. It just uploads it, and then it processes it. And then, when I filmed a video out here, I just filmed a review video out here earlier, and when I watched it back at the beginning of it, was out of focus. My camera's been a little bit out of focus lately, and I'm not really sure why. I'm gonna have to I don't know, maybe I need to clean the thing off or figure out the focus on it or whatever. But anyway, so when you upload a video on the computer, it uploads it, and then it goes through processing, and then it goes through checking. Usually, the uploading process is the longest part, depending on the length of the video and the speed of the internet and things like that. For example, my vlog, my phone is pretty fast. That's why I use my phone to upload videos on. If I upload it on my phone, an hour-long vlog usually takes 35 minutes from start to completion. On the computer, it can take an hour-long video, could take over 3 hours. Which is usually why, lately I've been uploading my vlogs on my phone, so I get them up by 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. But it was stuck on processing last night, and so for a lot of people, because I read it on Twitter last night, and then other people were texting me after I got done with my video, and they were yeah, my video is stuck in processing as well, and so what it would say processing will start soon, or processing was stuck at 0. It wouldn't even move forward. Well, usually processing for me on my videos is very quick, so if it gets stuck in processing, I know it's on YouTube's end usually. Either it's a Wi-Fi connection or it's a processing. It's a YouTube IT issue. So I was just okay, I'm probably not gonna get these videos up. And at that point, I even think I said this on the video yesterday, I was I'm just gonna post these videos tomorrow. So then I was well, I've got all these videos to post for tomorrow because I had filmed 6 videos. The only video that I didn't film yesterday was a review video. So I was well, I'll just save these videos for tomorrow, because I wasn't going to post a bunch of videos at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, which I think is when they fixed it, was around 11 o'clock last night. I was I'm not going to post these videos. So last night when I was watching my shows, I was just uploading videos for today to to post and have scheduled, which is why my videos went up earlier today. So if you're watching my other channels, on one of my channels, they went up earlier. I think they were all up by 4 o'clock or something like that. So today I was well, then I don't really have to film anything today, and I can just sit out here and read, blah, 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 whatever. And I was I think actually I'll pre-film some videos for tomorrow. That way I don't have to be in a rush to go to Rev and get ready for Rev and things like that. Oh, here's my neighbor walking his dog. Let me say hi to him real quick because he'll look back. Hey! How are you?
Are you filming?
I'm filming. Are you walking?
Say hello.
Hey, he said say hello. It's my neighbor next door. He walks his dog so much. He's so good to his dog, and they always have him out in the yard, and he takes him to the bark park, and he walks him so much. He's always so good to him. So anyway, so when I got up to, so last night, I was I didn't really think I'd film a bunch of videos, but then I was kind of well, maybe I'll pre-film some videos, so for Saturday, when we get ready for Rev, I don't have to be rushed to do videos, and then that way, I would only have to do a vlog, and if I wake up tomorrow and I don't even feel like filming anything, then I'll just it'll only be one day of the vlog that I would miss, right? So today, Alex got up, he had some things he had to go like run around and do, and then he went and got an IV, and then after getting an IV, he stopped by, he was going to his grandma, or his aunt's house to visit with his grandma and his aunt, but mostly to see his grandma. And like he texted me, he got there like an hour or two ago, and he texted me and he was like, I think he's gonna stay out there for like, they're gonna like make a rapist or something like that, or cachapas, and he was like, if you want to like come out here, like I'm gonna be here for a while or whatever. And I was like, no, I think I'm just gonna film some videos and whatever, because he's visiting with his grandma. He hasn't seen his grandma in a while. So his abuela. So I was like, well, since Alex isn't gonna be here for the better part of the afternoon, then I'll film some videos. So I wanted to get my video up for today for Peter's movie club. And so I filmed that. And like I shaved around here first, got real ready for the video, made the bed, shaved, and then I filmed that video. It's currently uploading, and there's something with our Wi-Fi today. It's like our Wi-Fi is really, really slow. I don't know what it is. Now my phone, because I have my phone, like when I upload videos, like it goes real fast. I'm uploading a drama video that's like almost an hour long for tomorrow. It's going real fast, but on the computer, there's a difference between, I don't know why, but it's saying that it's going to take like 2.5 hours to upload a 23-minute video, when my drama video that's like 59 minutes for tomorrow is going to take, I think it's like less than like 12 or 13 minutes still is like left on it. And it's like, so a total of 20 minutes to upload like an hour-long video. I don't know what is going on with Wi-Fi and YouTube. A lot of times when there's issues, like I saw people like comment this on Twitter last night, because YouTube put out like a comment. Often when there's issues with like processing, or it's really slow to upload videos for a lot of people, they're making a change at YouTube. This is like historically been what it is. It's like they're implementing some huge change. But YouTube has never really come out and said, like, we're making this change. They make that statement afterwards. So when they're rolling it out, you don't really know that it's going on. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference to me. I'll get my videos up today, tomorrow, sometime, whatever. This one I'll upload on my phone, so it'll be up, unless there's an issue with processing again. But they fixed that last night, so I can't imagine that'll be a problem. But usually it means that they're making some, like, change to YouTube, like some technical change. And so, anyway, so like, and I filmed those two videos. I filmed a drama video, and I was like, that one was to post for tomorrow, and then the movie club I was going to post tonight, or today. I'd already posted my weight loss journey that was supposed to be posted yesterday. I posted it today earlier. And then my review video that I just did out here, of hot and spicy stuff, I was going to post that today too, because I didn't film a review video, and then I was like, okay, for today, then I'll have videos up on all my channels. And that one actually is like uploading right now, and it says it's going to take like 43 minutes, which is long for like a 10-minute video, but like not unreasonable. But then I was sitting there, I was like looking at it, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, because I'm not really sure how long this vlog will be. This vlog will just be as long as until I'm done, I guess, because Alex will probably be over there for like another hour, and then he'll probably come home, and I have a feeling he'll be so tired, because he like went to this IV thing, he ran around, and then he's just been sitting there talking to them, so I'm sure like he's gonna be exhausted when he comes home. So, I was like, maybe I'm already going to post my drama video tomorrow. Videos on Fridays notoriously don't do well. People don't, like, watch a lot of videos on Fridays. And so I was like, okay, so tomorrow, I've already got up for today 5 videos, plus this one will be 6 that I'll post because they were supposed to be yesterday. And then tomorrow, I'll post my drama video. I'll post the review video that I was going to post today. And then I'll post the Peter Does Stuff video, the movie club, instead of today. I'm not going to put 2 videos up on that channel. I was going to, but I'm like, I'll just post that tomorrow, and then that's 3 videos I have posted for tomorrow, and then if I do a vlog, that'll be 4 videos. I'll film some vlog tomorrow, whether it's 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, or an hour. I'll film some vlog tomorrow. I can't imagine that, like Alex, because I was like, I might need to go to the store to find something to wear for Rev tomorrow night, and he told me, he was like, if you want to go to the store, I'd rather go on Friday than Saturday, because Saturday I just want to sit at home, do like a face mask and relax and stuff before we go. And I was like, no, that's totally cool. I don't think I want to go anywhere on Saturday either. So I'm sure that we'll just be sitting around here, and I'll come out here and vlog for a little bit. So yeah, so those videos will be posted tomorrow, and then if I get up, and I get up early enough, then maybe I'll film a Peterisms video or a BookTube video or something and add it to that. But it makes me feel better that I can kind of like spread them out. So maybe yesterday with the processing thing was, I don't know, a little break that I needed or whatever. It'll all work out. It doesn't really matter. I just did this review video, and this stuff was so much spicier than I thought it was going to be, and I had like no iced coffee left, and I went inside, I was just like chugging water. I was like, oh my god, my mouth was like burning. And I was saying in this video, like in our pantry, like Alex has the top shelf where he keeps like all of his treats, and I'm like the next shelf down where obviously we eat each other's treats if, you know, there are things we eat, but like up on his, he has like a huge bag of gummy bears and Sour Patch Kids and those gummy candies, the worms and stuff that he likes. And I don't like really, you know, obviously I don't eat any of that like gelatin candy. And then he sometimes has Oreos and like potato chips, and he loves the Smart Pop. But Alex will like, he can have that stuff. Like Alex can have those snacks around the house. Like he'll go in there and he'll like open his bag of potato chips or Smart Pop, and he'll get like a handful like while he's like taking Boo out. And then he'll like close up the bag and put it away. Like that is not me. Like sometimes while he's watching a show, he'll like open a bag of potato chips and sit there, but he doesn't even eat like that much of it. With the candy, he can make a bag of candy last forever. Like he'll go in there and have like 4 gummy bears or something. So my pantry thing is like, I mean, and obviously we eat each other's food. It's not like, you know, that's his food, that's mine. But like mine is like soup. It's like all soup. And then then the third shelf is Boo Radley's food and treats, of which his shelf is we just got 4 new boxes. Alex ordered 4 new boxes of food. Because he said to me the other day, he goes, we're out of food. And I go, no, we're not. Because I have the stuff that I found from Trader Joe's, that farmer's stuff that he likes. I ordered like 10 bags of it. That stuff is expensive, but he loves it. He's now like, one day he'll love something, and the next day he won't touch it. And so we have to kind of like rotate the foods around. I said, we have like 10 bags of that. He goes, well, I just ordered 4 boxes of the Royal Canine. So we now have like, 10 boxes, 10 bags of that farmer stuff, which we can get like 3 or 4 feedings out of that, because like you don't like put the whole bag down. I mean, he doesn't eat that much. So we can get like, so we have 10 bags of that, and then we have 4 boxes, which there's 12 packets in each box, 4 boxes of the Royal Canine. And then we have other food back in there too that I like ordered like months ago. That's, well, not months ago, but like 2 months ago. That's still, I mean, obviously it's good for like a year or 2. And then we have like all these treats in there, tons and tons of treats. Because like the treats, do you guys remember when I used to do the Bark Box unboxings? Oh, it makes me kind of sad. I used to do those because of like PP and Tucker, but since they're not here anymore, Boo Radley doesn't play with toys, and there's a lot of the treats that he can't eat because he doesn't have teeth, obviously. So, or he doesn't have teeth, so obviously he can't eat those treats. And so I would just give those treats to like my neighbor that just walked by for his dog, or like to Caroline or whatever, right? Or to Melissa, and she would take him to like the dog rescue places and stuff like that. Or sometimes I would give him to Tanya for the kennel or whatever. And so now like we know that what Boo Radley can eat. Like he can just eat like those small like training treats, or like a treat. He loves these one treats. I think they're the Rachel Ray. Is she the cooking person? I think it's Rachel Ray, and they're like these savory like chicken pieces, and they're like this, and they literally fall apart in your hand, and he loves them so much. So they come in like chunks. Like you would probably just give one to your dog and they would eat it as a treat, but Boo Radley can't do that. So we just like break it up, but like they literally fall apart in your hand. He loves those so much. They literally smell like fresh chicken. I mean, when I like pull them out, I'm like, ooh, that's like, smells like fresh chicken. But he loves them. And then the Trader Joe's, he loves those training treats too. Those are like, it's like bone soup and chicken or something like that. He loves those. And the Little Jacks, he doesn't really like those as much anymore. We haven't been getting those for him. The blue ones, the brand blue, he likes those treats. So he has got so many treats and so much food in there. I mean, if we had a zombie apocalypse, I think about this often, honestly, watching The Walking Dead. But I'm like, if we had a zombie apocalypse, Boo Radley would be good for at least a year, period, in his story. I mean, we've got so much, like, food in there that, like, doesn't go bad for, like, years on end, that, like, he would be completely fine. Boo Radley would be the most fed dog in the world during the zombie apocalypse. So what was I gonna say? My neighbor was just walking by. She's the one that can't hear roll of it. She had these real cute leggings on that had like these things that, and it was kind of funny to see her in these leggings that had, I don't know, they were like real, like fashionable leggings. They were real cute. She doesn't usually wear stuff like that. So anyway, So yeah, so I have these videos to post for tomorrow. Now, as far as like Rev tomorrow night, which somebody commented and said, I love when you get excited about going to events and stuff like that. That really meant a lot to me. I appreciate it. This is like one of the things it's interesting because usually with stuff like this, I get very nervous. My social anxiety kicks in. I'm like, I'm going to look horrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just, you know, honestly, was it last night we watched Vanderpump Rules and we watched Loot. And on Loot, if you don't know, watch Loot, it's with Maya Rudolph, and she plays like a billionaire. It's kind of like really unaware of the world around her and stuff like that. Well, it's this scene where it's this episode where she gets asked to do this fashion show. And in the show, she's supposed to be like, I think she said she's 46 in the show or something like that. And she wants to look like she's 25. And so she's trying to like lose all this weight real quick and all this stuff for this fashion show that's like 2 days away. And her assistant's helping with her, stuff like that. And at the very end, the kind of like, there's always like a cathartic moment, like where she learns something. There's always bugs around my face. She learns something. At the very end of it, she's like in the hospital, and she's like, you can just tell she's like, I can't remember what she says, but something about social media, and she just doesn't care anymore. She's just like, I am what I am. Like, I'm not, you know, and it's like, I want to lose weight to get healthy, and I want to lose weight to feel better about myself, but the days of me thinking that I'm going to look like as good as I mean, I still think some people probably find me attractive, and I don't, you know, whatever, but like, I like to get dressed cute, I like to look nice, I like clothes, obviously, and stuff like that. I love clothes, I love, you know, all that kind of stuff. I love to find cute outfits to wear and whatever like that, but I don't trick myself into thinking that I'm gonna look like I did when I was 30. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not there anymore. And so that's why I'm really about, I remember like years ago, Diane Keaton being interviewed by Oprah, and I don't know, just scratched my face. This may have changed, like Diane Keaton might have had some work done and stuff like that. And I'm totally, obviously my dad's he's a retired plastic surgeon, but you know, and Alex is real into aesthetics and stuff like that. Like, I mean, have all the Botox you want, have all the procedures you want, I could care less. Like, that stuff to me, like, when people want to get all up in arms about, oh my God, they did this, and I'm like, let people do what they want to do. It's their life, it's their body, they have a right to decide what they want to do with it, right? But on that interview, I've talked about this a lot over here. Oprah says, have you had any work done? And she said, no, not yet. She's like, I'm not, like, I wouldn't rule it out. She's like, and I'll never forget when she said this. She said, I really like the idea of aging authentically. And there was something about that stuck out to me. And I remember, like, when I decided to let my hair go white, because like my hair started turning white when I was like 23. And it didn't just go like salt and pepper. It went like white, like at 23. And I colored it for years and years and years. You know, I was like constantly like getting my hair colored and stuff like that. And I remember when I started growing it out, I was like so worried about it. I was like worried about like people thinking that I look so much older, which in all honesty, before then I got guests from my like early 30s, and I was, I don't know, 30 pounds thinner than I am now. I had no beard. And I had brown hair. That was, you know, I was getting it colored every 3 to 4 weeks. And that was before we got married. And I would be guests for like 32, 33. And after I let my hair go white, I immediately started getting guests for like 50. I mean, it was literally like, it aged me like 20 years. And then it was interesting because they'd be like, oh my God, your hair is like, I love the color of your hair. And like, it's so beautiful. It's such a color, pretty white. Like, what do you do to it? And I'm like, I literally just like wash it. I don't do anything. But there was so much freedom that came with it too. Like, one of the things, like, if you get your hair colored, you'll know what I'm talking about. But like, I always had to use like color protection shampoos and conditioners. I was always very wary of like being out in the sun for a long period of time, or like going and like swimming in chlorine and things like that, because I was spending a lot of money on getting my hair colored and would just like wash it all out. And when like my hair went white and I started being able to use like any shampoo and conditioner I wanted to, you know, based on the smell or what I liked, of made my hair fuller or whatever, I could be in the chlorine and it actually made my hair whiter. I didn't really, you know, so it didn't bother me at all. I liked it. I could be out in the sun, it would make my hair whiter, you know? The camera is so weird. I don't know what is going on. I'm gonna have to like really take a look at this camera. I feel like I looked at the knob and I have it on the knob that I've always had it on, but this is the new camera, and I don't know if it's because it's a new camera or whatever, but I feel like it's really bright. Like, it's showing me like soft lit, like brighter than it really, like it's showing me brighter than it. Have you guys noticed that on the vlogs lately? And this is only since I got this new camera a couple months ago, so it has to be this camera. But anyway, there was such a freedom that came with that, you know? There was such a freedom with all of that. It's like so funny because like every once in a while, like people that don't like me will try to shade me and they'll be like, oh, Peter's losing his hair and stuff like that. Okay, I'm 51 years old. Both of my parents had full heads of hair. And I don't think there's any shame in losing your hair anyway. There's nothing you can do about it. I've had friends of mine that have done the hair things, the hair replacement deals, all different kinds. I've had my friends that have used the shampoo and like I said, do what makes you happy, right? I think if I lost my hair, I probably would just shave my head and go bald. I think there's a lot of really attractive men that are bald, you know? So that has never really been like a worry of mine that I would go bald, but I mean, I'm not going bald. I have a receding hairline, but I got this receding hairline, I mean, before we got married. My hair receded up to here, probably, I don't know, like 30, you can see like the scars from my head where the brain injury was. I have a scar that runs where the staples were and the brain bleed was. It runs from here all the way to here. That's where the scar is. You can see it. But anyway, that's why you can see my hair. And it's not even thinning. It's because, like, it looks like my hair's thinning, but it's because of the scar. You can see the scar runs, like, right through here where it looks like it's thinning. Because hair doesn't grow on that scar. But my hair receded when I was like 35 years old, and then it just stopped. Because I can remember freaking out about it. I was like, okay, you're going to have to make a decision. Because I wasn't somebody that was going to do a comb over or try to make it look like I had hair when I didn't. I wasn't going to do like the hair replacement things, the hair plugs. I just wasn't going to do that. Like I knew like if I was going to go bald, I was just going to shave my head. Like there's a lot of men, like I said, that I know that are bald and are very attractive. So that wasn't, like I wasn't going to play that game. And so my hair started receding like when I was like, maybe it was before 35, I don't know. And I was just like the texture of my hair, this is two things that happened around that time. So back in the day, I would like take a shower and just like towel dry my hair. And this is something they don't tell you, okay, when you're younger. But the condition of your hair changes. Like my hair's still thick, but it's like fine, like it lays down. Back in the day, you see like here, like when okay, this part sticks out. My hair used to do that all over. So I literally would, I know that that's such a great picture of me, I don't really care. It is what it is. But I would get out of the shower and I would towel dry my hair, and then it would just like dry naturally, and I had it cut in like a faux hawk. And so I would just take product. I mean, I didn't even have to blow dry my hair. I just take product and just put it in my hair, and my hair just like immediately like dried standing up. It does not do that anymore. When I like towel dry my hair, like if I just take like, I'll take a shower tonight and put my pajamas on, it'll like dry laying down. It never used to do that till like 35. Those were the two things that happened around 33, 35, was that my hair started getting like, I wouldn't say it was fine because my hair's still not fine. It's like my hair's still pretty coarse and thick, but my hair like laid down instead of standing up, and I got the receding hairline right here. But then it stopped because I was really worried. I was like, this is going to be bad, but then it just stopped. It's not like you can do anything about it anyway. I mean, I think all that stuff is like personal. That's where I'm like, you know, do what makes you happy, you know? I had a friend of mine for years and years and years, this guy, I've known him forever, and he lost his hair like real early. Most of the guys that I've known, like they either have like this part and went bald, or they went bald all over, like from a very young age, like late 20s. And I knew this guy for a long time, and he did like all this stuff. It's not the hair plugs, because it was, but like the hair transplants, he did that, and then he did some other stuff, and then he did some other stuff, and it like, the hair transplant thing, I will say, looked real. But it didn't look real because he was like bald before that. So we all knew that, like, I mean, everybody that he knew that he had lost his hair, and then he did the hair transplant. If you had never met him before, I don't think you would ever know that he had him. But everybody knew him because we knew that before. He was almost bald, right? So he did the hair transplants, and then he did some other stuff. And then he just like shaved his head one day. He was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going bald. And he's like such an attractive guy. And you know, and it's so funny because like he and his wife and like their kids, like they always take like these pictures together, and like he and his like they have two sons. They're always like, and they're, I don't know how the sons are, probably 8 and 10, 8 and 12 or something like that. But they always dress like him. They always wear like suits just like him, and like the mom, you know, whatever. And so they always take these family pictures and post them and stuff like that, and they're real cute. But like he looks so much nicer now, like having just let it go. I think there's so much about that of just like, I don't know, I just feel like I have a few friends of mine, I would say more acquaintances from back in the day, that not many people that I know today do this, but from back in the day, that like when they started hitting like 50 or whatever, like they tried, a lot of women, I feel like a lot of women that I knew really struggled with like getting older, and there is such a double standard for men than there is for women. Like I can remember my mom wanting to like grow her hair out white because she had colored it blonde her entire life, and she was like, I think I'm just gonna let it grow out white. And she's like, do you think that'll age me? And I was like, absolutely. And she was like, do you really? This was before I had white hair, or let my hair grow out white, because that didn't happen until after my mom was gone. And she said, do you really think so? And I said, yeah, absolutely, I think it'll age you. I mean, like, you're platinum blonde now and cute haircut, and like if you grow it out shoulder length and it's all white, yeah, I do think it will, but do what makes you happy, like, do, you know, whatever. Like my cousin Caroline's like, because she gets her hair colored all the time, and she's like, when I turn 60, I'm letting it go. I go, really? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I think it's beautiful when women have white and gray hair. She's like, I'm just gonna let it go. Caroline has super thick hair too, because I think you get your hair from your mom's side of the family. Both Caroline and I have very similar hair. When my hair was longer in my youth, like, because I had hair that was like, I mean, it was real long. It was like down to my belly button almost. But most of the time it was like up around here. Like the way that my hair looks in pictures like that back then is exactly how like Caroline's hair is now, is exactly, because her son has real long hair, is exactly how David's hair is. And so, but Caroline's like, yeah, I'm gonna let it go at 60. I'm like, why 60? Why not now? She's like, well, because, you know, I don't want it to age me right now. I mean, and I get that, right? I mean, I think it does. I think the double standard is that women in our society are expected to keep up this idea of youth, which is why like the whole beauty industry, the skincare industry, all that applies, like plays into like, I think, more women than men. And then with men, and my mom used to talk about this, she'd say this to me, you know, like, men, as you get older, it's like when my hair went white and I grew out a beard and it was white and stuff like that, it's distinguished, it's experienced, right? Like, those are the words, but like women don't get those words, right? And so there's this complete double standard in our society, which I think is why so many women try to like keep it up. But like, I can remember a couple friends of mine back in the day, like, they just could not let go of their 20s, even though they were like 45, 50. And it was like, they were still like wearing clothes and stuff. I'm not talking about brands. I'm talking about like the cut of a clothes and whatever. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm like, you wear what you wear. Wear what makes you happy. Do whatever you want to do, right? But I also think there's a lot about being comfortable in your own skin. And one of those friends of mine said to me, like, I feel like she just broke down one night. She was like, I'm never going to be 25 again. Like, and I'm like, no, none of us are. And that's okay. Like, you know, like, there's love, there's joy in getting older. There's a lot that I really enjoy about getting older. I never thought I would say that, you know? I really didn't. I don't think in my youth, like in my teens and my 20s, I could really conceptualize even being 51. Oh, I'll be 52 next month. I don't think I could even conceptualize that, you know? I think sometimes about, like, I'm the age that my mom was when I got sober. I'm the age that my mom was when she got sober. Well, when I got sober too, and I think back on, like, how she was and how she looked and all that kind of stuff, and it's so strange to me when I think back about that. But then I also think about, like, my dad. Like, I very much kind of have my dad's style when he was my age. Like, my dad always wore, like, a trucker hat, and he wore, like, a lot of t-shirts from, like, you know, they traveled a lot, so he'd always wear his t-shirts from, like, different islands and stuff like that. And my dad wore cut-off jean shorts and, like, Birkenstock sandals and stuff or boat shoes, like, always. Like, that was his outfit when he was not in surgery, always. So I very much dressed like my dad did when he was my age. And I have this image of my dad. It was on his 55th birthday, because somebody had bought those, like, where you can, like, rent out, like, 55 pink flamingos for your front yard or whatever birthday it is. And so, like, they came and they did that flamingo thing to your yard. And my dad, I remember, like, must have been, like, staying at my dad's house or going to see him for his birthday or whatever. And he loved it. I think it was my aunt that did it. And not my Aunt Kathy, my Aunt Jenny. And he was so excited about it. And he was like, he kept on saying, double nickels, man. Double nickels, man. My dad kept on saying that, like, all day long. Double nickels, like 5-5. And And I think about my dad, and that was like, my dad was 55, and like he was at like the peak of his career. He and my stepmom traveled like all over the world back then. Like, I mean, they would go sail through the islands for like 3 or 4 weeks. They'd go hiking. My dad was running marathons until he was 60, 65. You know, I think of my dad at 55, and he was like at the peak of his life. And I think part of it also was that my dad, so the camera stopped. My dad was never somebody, like when I go to about, like my go-to about getting consumed with stuff and people saying stuff about me is my dad. Because my dad has never been somebody that really gives a shit what somebody else thinks about him. He just really isn't. He doesn't care, you know? But I think like at that age, like my image of my dad is like he really didn't give a shit. Like he knew who he was. He knew the right and wrong of, you know, he knew who he was. And there was like a freeness or a freedom of like, I don't know, like I can remember my dad saying at that age, like, you know, like he wouldn't retire till he was like 80, and he didn't retire until he was 80, you know, so he knew that. He knew he would work forever. But I can remember my dad at that age, and he just was like so fun and full of life. I mean, he was like that till he was like, I mean, he still is like that, but I mean, they don't travel as much like that, you know, and stuff like that, because he's older, my stepmom's not. But my, you know, he, I mean, was going all places and traveling. I mean, he was doing stuff that I don't even do now, and he was 65, you know what I mean? So I think about that. It's like, there's so much life out there for me to live. And like, I have friends of mine that are like, well, I'm 50 now, so I'm old, or I'm 62, so I'm old. Like, my dad was like, at 65, like, going to Wimbledon for a week with my stepmom, and then like driving a car through like the south of France, and staying in little places here and there, and hiking, you know, through the Italian countryside. I mean, that was my dad at like 64, you know? So when I hear friends of mine, they're like, I'm so old now, I'm like, I don't know, I look at my dad, like my dad was always so full of life. I actually think that's probably part of what kept him, you know, going. I mean, he's still, like, my dad's still, you know, he'll be 84 in August. His birthday is our anniversary, and I mean, he's still like going strong, you know. And I think that my dad's attitude was, it's not about what your age is and wishing you were still younger. It's enjoying and appreciating whatever age you're at, you know, and never feeling like you have to like act younger. Like my friend look at me and being like, I'll never be 25 again. No, we are. None of us are going to be. I don't even know that I would want to be 25. I know when I was younger and I would hear people say that, I was like, that's such bullshit. But in all honesty, I don't think I would want to be 25 again. I don't know. There was like more to keep up with when I was 25 than there is now, you know? It's like, I mean, I've said stuff to my dad, you know, about, you know, like in the past, I've talked to him about like what people say online and whatever. And he's like, why do you give a shit? And I'm like, well, that's a good question. He's like, no, seriously, like I taught you better than that. Why do you give a shit? He's like, you know who you are. He was like, you know who you are. He was like, why do you give a shit? He was like, I don't give a shit. He was like, I've never given a shit, you know? He's like, I care about and this is something my dad instilled in me, and I think, and I've talked about this before on here, not that he instilled it in me, but my dad has always taught me to care about what those people that you care about, that are around you, think of you. Don't give a shit about some random person out there, what they think about you. And it's like my mom said to me, don't value the opinion of those people you don't value to begin with. And my dad has always been like that. You know, my dad would be like, I don't care what, you know, if somebody does out there, you know, whatever, it is what it is, you know? He's like, I treat people respectfully, I treat people kindly. And he was like, but I care about what my wife says, what you think of me, what my mother thinks of me, what my siblings think of me. He's like, what my friends think of me. He's like, I don't care about, other people aren't affected by me. Like, that's who I care about, right? I don't know, my dad's a really cool guy, but my dad also is somebody that I think has maneuvered the world in a very, I remember my dad talking about the decision tree. I haven't talked about this on here in a while, but I was talking to my dad one time about something I can't remember what it was, long before I was ever on YouTube. And he said, you know, I wish I could show you, like, all the successes and all the mistakes I've had in my life, and then you could base your life off of that. And he was like, you would be, like, so wealthy, so happy, whatever. He goes, but then again, he goes, I think that in life you have to make your own choices and your decisions. Your life doesn't look like mine, you know? And he was like, And I think this is one thing parents don't get sometimes. Parents think that their kids' lives should look similar to theirs because or let me teach you what I did wrong and then you'll get it right. Well, everybody's life is so individual, right? And my dad was like, life is like a decision tree. And it's like, you go up the tree, I'm looking at this tree right now, and then there's like all these branches. And so you come to a decision in the road, right? Like college, work, or whatever. And then you make a decision. And let's say you go to college, and then you go to college, and that's one branch, right? And then from that tree, or that branch, it's like, do I want to go into pre-med? Do I want to go into art? Do I want to go into, law? Like, do I want to go into social work? Do I want to go into music? What do I want to do, right? And you make another decision. And then from there, it's another decision. And life is a decision. It's all just decisions that you make, right? And my dad was like, you have to make your own decisions. I can't tell you how to live your life. I can give you suggestions based on the things that I've done in my life and mistakes I've made and successes I've had and what I would suggest to you and things like that. And the thing is that when I was like in my 20s, like my early 20s, I wasn't really willing to listen to that, not just from my dad, but from anybody. Today I do, Today, like, some of my biggest role models in recovery most of my biggest role models in recovery are people that have been sober for 40 years and are like 80 years old. Because I'm like, they obviously know how to do it, and they have happy lives and things like that, most of them, And I'm like, I want what they have, so I do what they do, It's why today, like, financial advice and things like that, I take a lot from my dad, because my dad's been successful in his life. So it's like, okay, when my dad tells me, well, this is what, and my dad never says, you need to do this. My dad always is like, this is what I would do. And, and I've been so blessed that I've had, sponsors in recovery that have never told me, like, you have to do this. Like my sponsor, she'll say to me things like, how sober do you want to be? How happy do you want to be? Like, how sober do you means like, how healthy do you want to be, right? So she won't say, you have to do this. I've never in my life had a sponsor like that. I've witnessed other sponsors that will say things like, to their sponsees, like, you need to call me, every day for 30 days, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. I've never had a sponsor like that. And I don't know if that's just maybe my journey. I used to be kind of upset about it. I would say to my sponsors, I wish I would have a sponsor that would tell me, you have to do this, you have to do that, because I'm very good with that stuff, right? But I never did. I never had sponsors like that. My sponsor that passed away was it 2 years ago? Like, I would ask him about something, and he would say, are you asking me what I would do in your situation? Because I'm not going to tell you what to do. And I would be like, yeah. And he'd be like, well, if I were in your situation, this is what I would do. Or this is what I did when I was in a similar situation. You got to make your own decisions, I've never had a sponsor that said, you have to do this. In early sobriety, when I didn't want to do an inventory, my sponsor was like, you're either going to do the inventory or you're going to get another sponsor. And basically what that meant was, you're either going to do what I'm asking you to do for you, or I'm not going to work with you anymore because it's not going to work. Like, you're not listening to what I'm telling you to do, like, or suggesting for you to do. So, I was more scared to get another sponsor than I was to do my inventory, so I did my inventory, and that's how I kept him as a sponsor. He's passed away too, sadly. He passed away from addiction. He was a heroin addict. And then my two sponsors that passed away in the last 2 years, they both were sober when they passed away. And my one sponsor had a year more than me. So he would have had 27, 28 years when he passed away. I don't know, that was 2 years ago. And then, and owned movie theaters. Isn't that cool? And my, his one movie theater, they would show retrospectives. They would show all old movies and stuff. When we went to his memorial, it was at one of his movie theaters that he owns. And they had, like, the concession stand was, like, it's all old-fashioned. So they had, like, all the old candy, all the old popcorn and stuff. Like, it's in a real small town in Indiana. And, so at his memorial, they showed, like, a movie of his life. It was so cool how they did it. And we went in, and nobody was eating popcorn or fountain pops or anything. They were all free. Everything was free. And so Tanya walked right in, and Tanya was, like, really good friends with him. She was friends with him before I got him as a sponsor. And she walked right up to the counter, and she was like, they had, like, this placard thing that said, like, whatever candy, fountain pops, you want popcorn. And she, like, got a bag of popcorn and a fountain pop. And I was like, Tanya, are you going to eat this thing? She's like, yeah, this is what he would have wanted. He would have loved this. And I remember we were sitting there watching a movie of his life while we were in the movie theater. It was so nice, He never did either, though. He never told me anything to do. I remember, like, after my mom passed away, he was like, what do you want to work on for this next year? And I was like, I think my relationship with my dad. And he was like, okay. And that's what we did for the next year. We worked on the relationship with my dad. And my relationship with my dad greatly improved after that. It wasn't ever bad, but I think at some point, we didn't know how to ask each other for what we needed at that stage in our relationship. And so he really helped me with that. You know, I have a good relationship with my dad today. I mean, it was never bad, but it was like where I didn't know, like, to say to my dad, like, I want to see you once a week and have lunch with you or talk to you on the phone regularly. And he would say, well, this is what I want from you. And like, we didn't know how to have those things and ask for those things in the relationship. And he was the guy that said to me, you know, like, when I was talking to him and he said something to me about, I think my dad was really good with me when I was a kid, but like when I got to be an adult, my dad didn't, like, it was almost kind of like he didn't know, like, was he supposed to be my friend? Was he supposed to be my dad? And I didn't really know how to lead that because I'm an only child and he didn't have any other kids. And at some point, my sponsor said, I don't even know if we were talking about my dad, but my sponsor said something to me about, like, well, tell me about your dad and his relationship with his dad. And I said, you know, he didn't know him until he was 4 because my dad was in World War II and he was in Germany. And he said, so he didn't come home until my dad was like, because my grandma got pregnant right before my grandfather left for the war. And so my dad didn't know him. And then, like, he was the youngest of 5. And so my grandfather was a lot older and things like that. And, but as he got older, like, he and my dad, like, connected. Like, they, like, watched TV shows together and, like, they loved Perry Mason. My dad has all these stories about my grandpa. My grandpa was a homicide detective in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And so, my dad, so my sponsor said something to me about, we were talking about somebody else. Maybe we weren't talking about my dad, but he said, so he doesn't have, like, a roadmap for what that's supposed to look like. And that was so powerful. And I can remember using that analogy with, that's what it was, with my dad, and saying that to my dad. And my dad's like, I've never, like, raised another kid. Like, I don't know, like, what a relationship's supposed to look like. And I said to my dad, I said, a relationship can look like whatever we want it to look like. And it was like, just, you know, it's like my dad shared with me, you know, like, when I was in treatment, my addictions doctor was one of my dad's, like, good friends because they worked in the same hospital system together. And so my dad said to him, like, everything that I do in my life turns to gold except for Peter. Like, I don't know what to do. And I think my dad always felt like this powerlessness with me, right? And I think also because I had a lot of my mom in me, you know, that, like, my dad didn't know what to do with that kind of too. And so, I don't know, I'm so grateful for those guys that never told me what I had to do, you know. They always just kind of, like, led the way. Like, that year that I worked on, like, stuff with my dad and, like, really just being like, Dad, this is what I want from you. And my dad would say, well, you know what, Pete, because my dad calls me Pete. He'd be like, Pete, you know, this is what I want from you. And, you know, this is what means a lot to me with, you know, you and things like that. And it changed. I don't know that it made our relationship better because it was already strong, but it changed it. It changed the direction of it into us being able to have more of an adult relationship where we could have conversations with each other. My mom and I, like, our early sobriety gave that to each other. And so that changed it, you know, for my dad and I, where we could ask for what we needed. I will say one thing, that, like, when my mom passed away, before she passed away, I was able to have, you know, this unbelievable conversation with her before she went into a coma, and ask her questions about her life and whatever. And she suggested it. She's like, I think we should have this conversation, and we did. It's a conversation where I ask her about the misties of being a Pi Phi. That's what all the things you're not supposed to tell. And she kind of, like, and she goes, I can't. She couldn't tell me. But anyway, and I shared that in the eulogy that I gave, and, like, all the Pi Phis in the audience kind of, like, sat up, like, is he going to say these things? They take that stuff very seriously. But, you know, after my mom passed away, my dad and I had really never left, and my stepmom and I had never really left anything unsaid anyway. But I said to them, I said, I want to have conversations similar to that with you guys now. Not 2 weeks before you go into a coma, but coherently. And I've had those conversations with everybody in my life. With my husband, with my best friend, with my sponsor, with most of my friends, that if tomorrow something would happen, there are no words that have been unsaid. And I think that that's important. I think we sometimes wait until people are gone to really let out how we feel about that. And that was something that, like, going through that with my mom really taught me. I need to say the things now, right? Like, we often look at, like, funerals and memorials and stuff as a way to, like, really celebrate that life, when I think that we need to be celebrating the life while we're alive. We need to be letting somebody know how much we love them, how much they mean to us, how much we care about them. If there's things that we're not comfortable saying or that are unsaid, or if there are things that we need from a relationship that we're not asking for, ask for them. What's the worst thing that somebody can do? Say no, you know? And so I think it just, and telling somebody how much they mean to you and how much they loved you and saying like, what's your favorite memory of me? And then them telling you, and those are the things that we share those things at funerals. We say how much we love somebody, what our favorite memory is of them, how much they did for people, how much they meant to people. But we don't necessarily tell people every day, like, what they mean to them, I can't remember what video it was and what channel. I don't even remember what channel it was, but it was some video I did not too long ago. I actually think it was my Deaf Noodles video that I did. I don't know why I think it was that one. I could be wrong, but I got a couple comments they were like in a row from people, and they were like, Peter, you don't even really realize it, and you're really impacting people's lives, like with the way that you kindly look at certain situations. And like, Peter, you sharing your story of like recovery is really like impacting and changing lives. And like, those comments mean so much to me. Like, I'm not begging for them. I don't need them. I don't depend on them. But every once in a while, somebody will say something to me. Like, I don't know why, but somebody left a comment on my video and they said, like, you starting this movie club is such, they didn't say like a cool thing or whatever. They said it's like a nice thing. They said, this is such a nice thing that you're doing with this movie. It was just like a 2-sentence comment. And I don't know why this comment meant so much to me, but they said something like, you starting this movie club is so nice for you to do for the people that watch your videos so that we can all watch movies together. And I just was like, something that I love that other people are doing is we're all watching these movies together. Like, what a fun comment, And it's like the comment, I've referenced this comment in my vlogs before, but like, I don't know, it was like a year, it was last fall. Somebody commented and they said, it was like one of my vlogs or one of my drama videos talking about the stalkers and the haters and stuff, and they said, I feel like we're seeing the transformation of Peter in real time. And like, I felt so seen by that comment. It was just that comment. And I felt so seen by that comment. I don't know why. It's just like in that moment, I felt like, hey, how are you? You got a haircut.
Yeah.
It looks nice. She's laughing at me that I noticed. That's my couple with the sun hats that walks down. I love them so much. And he got his hair's usually not long, but it's like longer. And he got it like cut real short. And when I said that, she just started laughing. She's like pointing it to him. But it's always interesting to me, like the comments that like kind of stick in my head. I know people probably think that like to be honest with you, I don't really get a lot of nasty comments. I think part of that is, I think the people that don't like me have learned that if they leave some really shitty comment, they're gonna get blocked pretty quickly, and they want to be able, I think, to be honest with you, if I had to guess, probably some of my biggest haters leave some of the nicest comments. Because I think that they probably, and I don't really know who they are, with those, because I think they leave them on fake accounts that I don't know who they are. A lot of them I do know who they are. I mean, I know who my haters are, the real people behind them, but like with those fake accounts on YouTube, sometimes I don't know, And so, but I think people think that like those like negative comments or whatever are really the ones that like I get like consumed with. And I'm not going to say that there aren't days that I'll read something and I'll be like, seriously? Or like, oh, like a lot of times they'll make me think about things. Like if somebody leaves like an opposing, comment, and they'll be like, I don't agree with you. This is what I think. And I'm like, well, I never really thought of it that way. But in all honesty, it's just these random comments every once in a while that people leave on my videos that, like, this is so funny. I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like Stacy has continued to tell me about these books, these cozy mystery books. I think they're called the Stony Creek or Stony Brook Cozy Mysteries. I've downloaded them. They're by like Aaron Scott, I think. And she commented on the video, I think it was from yesterday or the day before, and she said, summertime is a great time to read those cozy mysteries. And I was like, that is so sweet that she like thought that through, that like Peter's probably thinking like, when should I read these? Like I've already recommended them to him. Like, I mean, it's probably not even that deep, right? But like even like the back and forth joking with Tia about the movie Damsel, which this week, well, if you go watch my Peter Desta video tomorrow, you'll see why that's so funny, because there's somebody that's in that movie Damsel. But like every time that movie comes up, like I'll see it like, somebody will post something about it on Instagram, or I'll see it come up on Netflix or whatever. I like just like chuckle. I'm like, and it's like this like weird connection, and or when people like leave a comment and it's like, I'll say something about like something my mom did, and they'll be like, oh, my mom used to do the same thing. It's like, those comments are so sweet. Like, I love that, right? Like, it's this connectivity of like the human condition that we all live, right? And it's really those comments. It's crazy, like, the comments, if I told you, like the Stacy comment has like really stood out to me today, because I'm like, I gotta go in there and see what the first book is so I can start reading that this month because it's so nice out, and she said to read in the summer. Like, it's weird, like those are kind of like the comments that like I stick on, you know? Like, a lot of the comments on my weight loss journey have been so helpful for me. Like, a lot of the comments where people are like, Peter, I really appreciate you sharing like what a struggle it is, because a lot of people online don't do that. They're just like, oh yeah, like, or they end it real quickly, or they whatever. And I said if I was going to do it, I was going to do it realistically, right? And like, that encourages me to continue to share the struggle parts of it. I don't want every week to have to be a struggle on there, but it encourages me to continue to do that. So I don't know, like, there's so many comments, and I do read all the comments, and the comments are so nice, and they're so, you know, meaningful and stuff to me, and I just want to say I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love, you know? You know, like I said, you never know what, you know, what's going to happen to people, and, I mean, I don't plan on going anywhere, but I think it's important to say to people how much they've changed you, how much they've affected you, you know, when you have the chance. And I do say this a lot in videos, and I always say, like, you guys give me a life beyond my wildest dreams and all this kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I mean, this is my 8th year of vlogging, and I'm sitting on my front porch, and I did drive, and now I'm not, and I sat in my driveway, and people watch the vlogs, and you guys have kept up with me, and it's not like I've gained 30,000 subscribers nor lost over here. You know, it's been consistently the same amount of views. Some of you have been around for 6 weeks. Some of you have been around for 6 years, and I appreciate it. I don't think you guys really realize, I don't think I could really even explain it to you what you've given me, you know? But I realize it, and the people in my life realize it. Like, when we talk about stuff, you know, we'll say, like, Caroline or Alex will be like, just the ability that you're able to work from home because people watch your videos. Like, that's such a huge thing. I don't think people really get that, right? Like, I don't drive. I don't leave my house. So if I were working a 9-to-5 or 2 9-to-5s, I would have to arrange transportation for that. I would have to do all that kind of stuff, right? Which a lot of people do. I understand that, right? But you watching my videos allows me to do things from home. It's a huge difference, you know, and to have a relaxed life, and I get to talk about TV shows and movies and memories of my life and my opinion about stuff, and it's like, and be able to, like, and as a result of that, be able to travel with my husband and, you know, spend time with him every night and Boo Radley and share all of that with my life. And it's just like, it's so meaningful, and you guys have given that to me. It isn't anything. The arrogance of influencers when they sit there and they act like, I work so hard for you, all this stuff that I do. It's like, nobody's begging you to do it. It's like, nobody one day said, we need this person to start making videos, TikToks, and Instagrams, you know? Like, nobody demanded that of that person. They chose to. It's just like, I chose to post a video one day, and you guys chose to watch. And it's such a blessed life. I mean, there's so much luck and blessings that come along with it, in all honesty. And it's such a, did you hear a duck or a goose? It's such a, what a quack. That's what I'm gonna call this video. What a quack. But it's, you know, it's such a blessed life. And I think that's why okay, you know, it's interesting because whenever people ask me this on like a Q&A, I can never think of it at the time. Like, some of my biggest pet peeves, I can never think, like, at the moment, I'm like, what is my pet peeve? Because I don't really live in the pet peeve thing until it's like happening to me. But I think that's why one of my biggest pet peeves are people that don't live in gratitude, or that can't even see it, or can't find it anywhere in their lives, right? And in all honesty, the majority of the people that I know that are really down on their luck, or are really struggling, or really going through really shitty, tough medical issues, or breakups, or job changes, or tough time paying their bills, or whatever, are often the times the people that I know that live in a lot of gratitude. And they'll say things to me like, I guess it could be worse, you know, or at least I have a house, or, you know, at least I have family that I can move back home with, or at least, you know, I have, you know, friends in my life. It's not like I'm not eating today. They'll say those things to me, right? Whether they're dealing with a breakup or cancer or whatever. And those, to me, those people are role models to me. right? Like, those are role models to me. I think we've kind of lost sight of who should be our role models a little bit. It's always the people that have too much and were given it too easy that I feel like have no concept of gratitude, you know? That will be like, oh my God, I have to put out 2 videos a week. You don't know how hard that is to send it off to my editor and put a full face of makeup on. I'm like, you live in a $2 million home, you have 4 cars, you travel all the time, and you work maybe 4 hours a week. Give me a break. Like, seriously, do you know how many people would love to have that life? Do you know how many people, I mean, I have so many friends of mine that literally work 2 and 3 jobs, you know, and have to space their time out so that they can, like, make dinner for their kids and do homework. When I say those things in videos, I'm basing those off of, like, real friends of mine in my real life that, like, have to come home and figure out, like, you know, like, when they're, I have a friend of mine that is currently, like, working, like, 40 hours a night. Her and her husband work completely different shifts. She's working, like, 40 to 50 hours a week. She comes home. She gets, like, an hour to herself before she goes to sleep so she can get up and get her kids ready for school and stuff like that, you know? And it's getting, like, a few hours of sleep. I have such mad respect for her, you know? And it's, like, and she's just one of, like, many friends of mine, you know, that I have so many friends of mine, single parents. I have friends of mine that are like couples, right? And it's like they have to work. You know, I have so many single friends of mine, mostly single mothers, but I have a few single father friends of mine too. But single mothers who will work, like, you know, during the day, like an office type job. Or it's interesting to me, they're always like, most of my friends that like are doing this kind of stuff, working 2 jobs, they're also in school. So they'll, let's say they work from like 7 to 3 or 4 to 8 or 8 to 4, and then they come home and they spend 2 to 3 hours with their kids, making dinner, doing homework, spending time with their kids because they're their kids. And then, like, their mom or sister will come over at, like, 7, and then they'll go to, like, a 6-hour night shift, like bartending or, like, waiting tables or something like that. And they get home at, like, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're exhausted. You know, a lot of my friends work fast food for a second job. And then they, like, come home and they're exhausted, and all they want to do is, like, take a shower and get the smell off of them, and they don't even get, like, a half an hour, an hour to relax, you know? And I know that's probably very similar to a lot of you out there. And then you choose to watch my videos, and you say that I help you unwind. Like, to be a part of that, like, that means so much to me. I don't even think you guys have any idea what that means to me. I have, like, such mad respect for people that fucking hustle. And they hustle because they have to hustle, not because it's a choice that they have. Like, I respect people that have a hustle. I really do. That they're willing to do whatever they have to do to get the food on the table, pay their bills, and make sure their kids are getting good grades. And those friends of mine are also friends that, like, are going to PTA meetings, they're getting their master's degrees or their bachelor's degrees. You know, I've had many friends of mine that had 3 kids and were working 2 jobs and going back and getting their GED, you know? And at the same time, have to have people dogging them for, it's like, oh, you're 35 and you don't have your high school degree, but they're working 2 jobs and raising 3 kids on their own. Like, give me a break, right? Like, and then we have 25-year-old influencers on TikTok bitching and moaning. Well, what would happen if TikTok came down? Well, you'd have to figure it out, like the rest of us, you know? Or, oh my God, like, I have to sometimes work till 6 o'clock at night, or you guys don't know how difficult my life is, and I have to film all these videos in a week, and they're literally putting out 2 videos a week. And I'm like, I film like 4 to 7 videos, 4 to 6 videos. I won't stretch it to 7, but I can't remember the last time I filmed 7 videos. Well, probably last week. But I film a minimum of, let's say, 2 to 4 videos a day. At least a vlog every day, right? That's like an hour or something. And have to edit them, have to get them up. I mean, my editing is not great. But these people that are doing this, I just want to make this very clear when people will be like, you don't edit. They don't edit either. They send it off to an editor. If I wanted to pre-film all my videos and send 30 videos off to an editor and have them do magic editing to my videos, I could do that too. I'm not spending that money to have somebody do that, right? They don't edit their videos. They literally sit down. Most of the time, they're partners. Like Tati Westbrook, when you watch her videos, her husband's always there. Fixing the ring light, I mean, he's always there. You think she sits down and does her makeup and answers questions. That's what Tati Westbrook does. Period. She talks about sending it off to an editor, and I don't hate her for it. But don't complain about how tough I don't think she has complained about how tough she's one person that doesn't really complain about it, but it's a blessed life. Even me and I'm not comparing myself to them and saying, like, my job is so much harder. I'm telling you that my job of filming 1 vlog to 7 videos a day, no matter what, I mean, I'm sometimes putting out 30, 40 videos a week. I have an easy job. Easy. And compared to my friends that are working 1 or 2 hard jobs, taking care of their kids, going to soccer games on Saturday morning, church on Sunday, going to meetings, saving their money for this, whatever. You know, like, I have a blessed life. A blessed life. So one of my pet peeves is when people don't live. This battery is going to die here in about 30 seconds. So let me go inside and, well, the battery's going to stop in 30 seconds, but it's already at the halfway mark. So let me go inside and get another battery. I also want to see if my phone's inside, if he's texted yet. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Changed the battery. This one's hot. Changed the battery, got my phone. My drama video is done uploading on my phone. Alex is not texting me. I'm actually going to, so this huge group text between Alex, Jason, and Melissa is going on. So I'm going to read that in just a second, but I'm going to text Alex. He hasn't texted me yet. See what he's doing. He loves hanging out with his grandma. He used to do these like dates every month with his grandma. I told him he needs to keep on doing that. Let's see what is this about? Okay, so I texted back the group text. Something to do with New Kids on the Block. Melissa's talking about, she's obsessed with New Kids on the Block. Oh, he said he's gonna come home in a bit. Let's see if he ate. So yeah, I think one of my biggest pet peeves is people that really struggle with living in gratitude. I remember this person that I used to know who had such a blessed life. And if you talk to them, all she would ever complain about, she just constant complaints. My life this, my life that, whatever. And I said something about doing a gratitude list. And she's like, yeah, I guess I could try that. And I was like every night a gratitude list, like just of what you're grateful for, you know, in your life. I didn't even say just for that day. I just said in your life, right? And I was like, that really helps me. And, I mean, I do like, you know, like one in my head every night when I'm doing my prayers and meditations. I keep on saying I'm going to do he's texting me. I keep on saying I'm going to do the written gratitude list and the happiness list, but I haven't done that yet. But anyway, this is going to be like 2 vlogs in one day. And last night's was like 46 or 47 minutes, and this one's already over an hour. That's crazy. Well, I mean, it's really late each day, because I used to post them real late at night. Do you remember that? So anyway, he must be texting a lot, because his 3 dots are going like crazy. And I remember she called me and she was like, this is like, God, how long ago was this? Like 20 years ago or something? And she was like, I can't do this gratitude list. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, you said 10 things. And I was like, okay. My life, my health, my sobriety, my husband, my dog, my home, food, water, the weather outside, coffee to drink, glasses to be able to see, you know, I mean, legs to walk, hands to use. I mean, it's just like, could you not come up with 300 things? She's like, I've only got 2 and I can't come up with any more. I was like, most blessed life this person has, still does today. Most blessed life, right? Oh, I guess they didn't have a rapist. He said some. We had chicken wraps and dips and cheese. I asked him, was it good? Oh, wait, Melissa texted me back. I don't know. It's just like, and I feel like gratitude is an action. I don't just think it's something that you say. I think you have to live in it, right? And for me, those moments where I really want to feel sorry for myself or have a pity party for myself, or because I think we all go there, and I think we all have the right to go there. And I think there's, when it comes to your personal life and your thoughts and how you feel about things, nobody has a right to tell you how to feel those things. Like, that's your business, right? But for me, it does me no good to stay stuck for long periods of time in anger, resentment, self-pity. It just doesn't do me any good, right? Gratitude is such a tool to get me out of that, right? Like, I don't know, it's, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. Like if I'm feeling sorry for myself, like this didn't turn out the way that I wanted to, it's like, okay, but look at all the things that you do have. Look at all the things that did turn out for you. Look at all these blessings that you have been given, right? And like that for me helps me so much. So, what am I even talking about? I've gone on and on and on for an hour about so many random things. This is crazy. What is this even about? Okay, so let's talk about last night. So we watched Vanderpump Rules and Loot last night. And then Alex stayed downstairs. I went upstairs to go lay down and take a nap because I was super, super tired and I was frustrated with those videos and stuff like that. So then I got up. He came upstairs at some point. He watched, I can't remember what he was watching on TV. Oh, he's watching, it's a show with the girl that was in Jane the Virgin. I love her so much. Like Dead to Me or Dead Like Me or something like that. He watched like it's the second season or something. He's watching like the second season of it. I don't know anything about that show, but he's watching it. So he watched an episode of that, and then he came upstairs and went to bed. And then I was laying down. I felt like asleep like that on my nap last night. I was so out, and I laid down. And when I woke up, it was like 12 when I woke up or something like that. And he was just like still on his TikTok. And I said, you haven't gone to sleep yet? And he was like, no. He's like, I'm like really having a hard time going to sleep. Alex, I will say this is, he is somebody, in the last 2 nights he's had a hard time going to sleep. He is somebody that is, or was it last night and the night, some other night this week he had a hard time. He is somebody that can look at his phone until like the last second he plugs it in and he is like out 30 seconds later, like dead asleep out. I was actually thinking about that last night because when I came to bed last night, as soon as I came to bed, Boo Radley wanted to go outside. There are so many of these little like nap things. Boo Radley wanted to go outside. So, what did he text me? He asked me if I've eaten. He said, yeah, I was good. Have I eaten? He asked me if I wanted him to pick me up anything. I said, no, I'm good, babe. So I took Boo Radley outside, and he like ran around for a little bit, and then I took him upstairs and put him on the bed, and then he just like stood on the end of the bed and looked at me, and I was like, oh. So I went downstairs, I got him his treats. That's what because he was like, where are my treats, Dad? So I got him his treats and brought him back to bed, and then I laid down to get into bed, and I was so tired, I almost like got right to sleep, and he just kept on getting up and wandering the bed and wandering the bed and wandering the bed. He like walk over to the other side of where Alex was. Like Alex was facing me, and he would like and Alex was like dead asleep, and he would like walk like over Alex into the other side, and he would just like stand there and look at Alex, and he would like come back around. He would like stand there and look at me, and he didn't want to lay down. And then like he like just curled and like circled and circled and circled. The digging that they do. That might be one of the things that makes me the happiest in the world, is to watch Boo Radley like in his bed, the bed that we keep upstairs, or the bed that Lucy sent us, or the bed downstairs, or just our bed or our couch or whatever, when he digs, and he's so intent on like, it's so funny to me like when he digs in the bed, like he thinks he's digging at something, I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but it's the cutest thing to me in the entire world. But he did that last night and like dug and then circled, and then like 2 minutes later, like I look, and he is out, like completely out, and I'm like, how are he and Alex like, they fall asleep like that, and I can't. And so, who's texting me now? Oh, it's the group text again. And so, I gotta text her back before Alex, because he's giving her a bunch of ideas. And then he texts me back. Okay, babe. Oh yeah, I was like, how do they fall asleep so quick? And I'm like, and finally, I finally fell asleep. It didn't take me as long last night as it did, but still, it's like every night it takes me a long time. I'm still taking my medicine and whatever. And like I said, like when I fall asleep, like I fall asleep deep from the medicine, but the medicine doesn't help me fall asleep. It doesn't like make me tired or anything like that. Last night when I got up from my nap, I watched Survivor, which was fantastic this week. I'm going to make a whole video about this, but I just want to say this. I actually didn't get to talk to her. She didn't close her garage, so she's probably going to come out. It's kind of late for her to not have closed her garage. But I want to say this to her because she and I watch Survivor, and he and I watch Amazing Race together. Not Alex, my neighbor next door. He and I talk about it. Well, I think his wife watches it too, but he and I talk about it. She and I talk about Survivor. Okay, you have one job on Survivor. That's to make it to the next day. Okay? And then if you make it to that day, you make it to the next day. You have one job. There are now 3 people on this season that have gone home with an idol in their pocket. They're idiots. Total idiots. These people that go home with idols in their pocket. It's like they are and then the person that went home this week was like, got completely blindsided and was like, I gotta get off this group text. Melissa's texting like crazy about this New Kids on the Block stuff. She's obsessed. Oh my God, that red cardinal landed right in my tree. But the person that got kicked off this week said something to the effect of like, if you're going to go out, you might as well go out on a blind side. What? No, that is stupid. No, if you're going to go out, it better go out because they think that you're the biggest threat in the entire world, not just because you have an idol in your pocket. Play that idol. If you played the idol, you wouldn't be going out on a blind side. You would be still here, okay? Because you were stupid because you didn't play your idol. I just feel like, and when you look at the jury, there's 4 people in the jury now. The 4 people that are on the jury are people that could have won the show. And now, in all honesty, like, out of the top people that are on there, well, I want Kenzie to win the whole show. I just want to say that right now. I know she won't, but I want her to win the whole show. There's only like, well, Kenzie or Charlie. I really like Kenzie and Charlie. I kind of like last night when I was watching it, for some weird reason, I think Maria will win, but I kind of would like Charlie to win. Kenzie or Charlie. But I really like Kenzie. Like, she and I would be friends in real life. She reminds me of a couple friends of mine. But Charlie I really like. He's a Swiftie on there. He's the guy that like loves Taylor Swift and knows all of her songs and stuff like that. But he's real sweet, but like he's playing a really good game. It's interesting to me because he's won like 3 like physical challenges and nobody thinks he's a threat. Like, that's pretty smart. I mean, he could sit there and say, I won 3, and if he came down to the final 2, he could say, I won 3 physical challenges and no one ever tried to target me for, you know, a blind side. Nobody saw me as a threat, because he plays a very like soft social game. He's very smart in what he's doing. And I like him a lot. And like every one of the people that he's like, well, besides Q, but like Q could go up, they all do not like Q. And there's nothing he could really say in the jury that would help him win, unless he was like, it was my plan to act like I was nuts from the beginning and then like just ruin every relationship I had. If he makes it to the final, like I would take Q to the final, because if you go to the final with Q, you're gonna win. Nobody likes him. So anyway, but for some reason I have this feeling that Maria will win. I've kind of like, maybe I had a dream about it or something. I don't know. So I watched Survivor. It was really good. I watched The Amazing Race. My favorite, well, there were people that I didn't love them at the beginning, but then they became my favorites and they went home last night. But the thing about Amazing Race is like, I like all the teams. Like all the teams, I like them. The 2, what are they? Like the military pilot guys. They remind me of 2 of like Alex's friends, their boyfriends that are friends to, these guys are friends too. They remind me of them. I don't know why. And then I love all the couples. And that okay, so one of the things that they had to do this week was they had to go to, they're in Barbados. And they had to go to Rihanna's home, like her home, and it says like Rihanna's home in front of it, right? Nobody acted like, I mean, like that, I'm not even a huge Rihanna fan. Like, I like Rihanna, but like, I am like, those are the kind of things I think are really cool. Like, oh my God, this is like where Rihanna like grew up and like walked down the street every day. Like, none of, they're just like, oh, let's get the clue and go. Like, none of them could care less that it was Rihanna's house. But Amazing Race, I watched that, and then it was, oh, I did go to, no, I was gonna, did I say I didn't go to bed late? I went to bed later than I thought I did. I thought I went to bed earlier, but I didn't, because I watched an episode and a half of The Walking Dead. I started watching it. Season 9 is pretty good, I have to say. I didn't, like, it started real slow, and I thought I'm not going to like this. You know, I'll tell you somebody on the show, and I don't know, like, if she becomes evil or whatever, but she's the one that she tells them her name is Anne, but she goes by Jadis to the other people. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm only at the beginning of season 9. I'm like on episode 6 or 7. But I really like her. Yeah. So I just finished the episode where well, it doesn't matter. I just finished the episode where something happened to Rick, and then like he fell in that pole, and then all the zombies are chasing him, and then Maggie went to go kill Negan, but then she didn't end up killing him. That was the episode that I just watched. Or I'm halfway through that episode. Yeah, I'm halfway through that episode because that one person just came and told Michonne and Maggie that something was going on at the camp where Rick was at. It's that all the zombies are there. And I already know what's going to happen. He's going to take them across the bridge they've been working on, and they're all going to fall into the water because they already told him that the bridge wouldn't make it. So he's going to use the bridge. So like, I already know that's going to happen. I'm already prepared for it. I'm completely prepared for it. Some of the things were so predictable in the show. I will say this. I'm going to make a whole video about it. But can somebody explain this to me about The Walking Dead? So Rick is like, we got to give people a chance. We got to, like, give people, like... Oh, my neighbor's home across the street in the corner. Rick is always like, all these people are always like, we got to give this person a chance. This is what Carl would want. We got to let this person live and whatever, right? And so that's why they let people like Negan live. Like, Negan has literally killed, like, all these people, right? And treated them horribly, but, like, they let him live. For the show. Like, even Daryl says, like, you're twisted with how you're thinking about this. But what's interesting to me is... like, to get to Negan, so that they can take him and put him in a cell, because they don't want to kill him, because we've got to give people another chance, right? They kill, like, 40 people. Like, just shoot them. Just shoot these people down with a machine gun. What about those 40 people? Do those 40 people, like, not, hey! Did you go golfing today?
No, not today.
Not today. Yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You look like you got something good there in your hand. Is that food?
Yeah, oh yeah. Thanks, Wayne. It's Laura's favorite.
What is it?
Italian sub.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Have fun. Italian subs for dinner. But I'm like watching it, and they're always like, no, we gotta save this life. They always have to save the life of the person that's like the worst in the show, right? And it's like this message we're trying to send, and I'm like, but what about the other 40 people that were just trying to exist and live there and protect that person just because they didn't know any other option? It's like they killed like this one part where they like are trying to like get to Negan. There's like this one woman, she's standing there, and she's like 50, 60 years old, right? And she's like just standing there with like this thing. And when they kill all these people, they just like shoot her dead. And I'm like, what about her? Like, did she not get a second chance? Why doesn't she get a second chance, but like Negan gets a second chance, right? Like, it's all like, that's it on the show. Like, they always like the people that are the worst, they keep them around forever, you know, because of the storyline, they have to. But I love Daryl on the show, and I love Carol, and I love all of them on the show, but I loved when Daryl said that to him, like, why are we giving them a chance? Because, like, thank God somebody said on the show, like, what we're thinking while we're watching it, because I know I'm not the only one that thinks that, you know? So I watched that, had my candles lit, had the door open, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, there they are. There you are again! Haircut and all! Last loop. Enjoy your night. And I had my candles lit and the window open and stuff like that. I had to turn the heat on again last night. This is because there's gnats around my face. I had to turn the heat on again last night because it started getting so cold outside, so I turned the heat on. But then with the heat on, this is where my mom would have said you're heating the outside or you're air conditioning the outside. With the heat on, it started getting so hot inside, and so I opened, it's like perfect with the heat and the screen door open. It's like perfect. With my candles lit, it smells so good inside and stuff like that. I actually went through 2 candles. I mean, I didn't go through them all last night, but the 2 candles that I had last night, which have been on the table, I had already burnt like halfway through them like months ago. I put one in the kitchen and one on the table, and they're like dead. So tonight I have to put 2 new candles out. So I don't know what the scent is that I want. But I'm glad that I started really using the candles and stuff like that, because I would buy these candles and I would like use one here or use one there, and the last year, since I started like putting candles out here, I have this one right here, this Maven one. Let's light it. It doesn't say the theory. It says clean theory. It doesn't say. I feel like these are the bonfire ones I bought, but they don't smell like bonfire. I bought some more of these lighters when I was with Caroline. Not this week, but the week before. It's kind of a pretty candle though, don't you think? But anyway, Alex must have been sitting out here because this that I got like at, I don't know, IKEA or Pottery Barn like a million years ago has a tag on the back, but I can't see what it says, so let's say where it's from. IKEA. I got this at IKEA. Does it say how much it was? No. But I got this at IKEA like a million years ago. I had a fake candle in here to see how dirty it is. So I keep it down here now because I don't think I'm going to keep it out here when I put the new table out here. And because I still haven't put the new table together. I know. I know I need to do it. Maybe I'll do that tonight while I'm watching some TV show. I just don't feel like it. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to put that on there. I think I'm just going to leave it clear and just have like the candle out there. So I have more space. But I had it down here, and then he moved it up on the table because I came out here and it was up on the table. So he must have been out here. He sits out here sometimes with Boo Radley. I know it's funny to think that, but he does. Like Alex will like hold Boo Radley and like sit and rock back and forth in the chair, and then when the neighbors walk by, he says hi to him and stuff like that. I know my husband's turning into me. So anyway, so yeah. This turned into being a long vlog, didn't it? Oh, that's what I was going to say about Alex. Like, he couldn't sleep last night. So I came downstairs, and I was, like, lighting the candles. Oh, I read last night, too. Oh, that was the other thing I did. I read for, like, 40 minutes the graphic novel. The one about the kid that works at the ranch. He goes there and works with his stepdad because they're, like, having a hard time paying bills, and so his mom's like, you're going to go to this ranch. It says on the back of there, like, he went there because he was, like, got in trouble, but that's not what it is. He goes to this ranch, North Ranger is what it's called. It's based on that other book, but he goes to work with his stepdad on this ranch in Texas, and he's obsessed with horror movies. Like, there's always this, like, back history of horror movies. So he goes to work on this ranch, but the ranch is, like, this dad and this daughter and this son that are twins. Son and daughter are twins. And he, like, works underneath them, and it's, like, taking care of the horses, and it's, like, a working ranch, and, like, people come to, like, stay at the ranch and stuff like that. And this kid's, like, really, he's, like, a city kid. He's, like, having a real hard time with it. But then, like, where I just got to, they just went to the lake house, which is called North Ranger. And it's supposed to be, like, another, like, a modern version of North, is it North Ranger, Abby? I feel like I can see the cover in my head. Is it Emily Bronte? She just put her lights on out there. She didn't close her garage door. She needs to close her garage door. But anyway, it's okay. It's not the best. I was going to start Check Please, the second one. I thought there were 3 in the series, but I searched it last night, and there's only 2 in the series. So this one is the last one. So I was going to start that last night, too, and read both of them at the same time, but I thought, just get through this one, and then you've got enough graphic novels. When I finish this one and Check Please, I think I'm going to start reading The Walking Dead graphic novels. I have 4 of them so far, and I think there's like 20 or 25 in the series, so I think I'm going to read those. That might get me through the summer, and that'll be fun. I actually thought the other day, I'm not big on rewatching TV shows, except for like Roseanne and stuff like that, and, you know, Love Boat, every once in a while, like an episode here and there. But I'm not somebody that would, like, Alex, like, loves, like, well, Schitt's Creek we're doing, but, like, so I guess I am, kind of, but I'm not somebody that, like, I would rather watch a new show than, like, an old show consistently. Me and Alex watching a couple episodes of Schitt's Creek is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about binge watching a show. But the other night I thought, maybe I'll go back and watch Stranger Things from the beginning, because I loved that so much, watching that in the summer. My 3 favorite shows to binge watch, like, in the summer have been, and maybe I didn't even watch them in the summer, I don't remember, but, like, Stranger Things, I love to watch that in the summer. And Orange is the New Black, I loved that so much. I could go back and rewatch that too. And what's the one that takes place in Australia? That's about the prison. It starts with a W. Wentworth. I could go back and watch Wentworth again too. I probably could. Orange is the New Black is like, Wentworth is like real heavy. I don't know that I could go back and watch that one again. But I actually thought about going back in and rewatching Stranger Things again. I thought that might be, like, really, really fun to go back and do that. So I might go back in there and watch Stranger Things. So this is what I was going to say. Last night I was, like, lighting my candles and stuff like that after I got inside from reading, and I was getting ready to watch my show. So yeah, it would have been, like, 1, something like that. And Alex, like, came downstairs and got a glass of water, and I was like, are you still up? He's like, I can't sleep. So he was, like, struggling falling asleep last night too. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me text her back. Okay. Oh, the outfit for Rev. I was going to talk about that too. So I watched the shows last night and then I went to bed. So last night I was like, I've got to have something here that I can wear to Rev. The thing is, it's supposed to... Here they go with the text again. And I literally just said, let me look in a second. I'm vlogging. Oh, she said, no hurry. Hi to everybody. That's what she said. So Melissa says hi. So everybody say hi to Melissa in the comment section. But last night I was like, I have to have something here at the house that I can wear to this event tomorrow night. Like, I don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money and buy a bunch. I've spent enough money recently anyway on shoes and this and that. Somebody asked, I'm like, I made a whole video about it. I think maybe I didn't make a whole video about it. I said it. Somebody asked if I was able to return the Birkenstocks to Saks. Yes, and they gave me a gift card for it. And then the money that was extra for like the tax and shipping, they put back on my credit card. So I got a $100 gift card from Saks. I said that, I think, in like the next video that maybe I said it on my Peter Does Stuff video, and that's why they didn't know. But yeah, I got my money back for those blue sandals. And now they don't have them in my size. So I can't order them again. But I'm not going to order them again and have them send them the wrong size. I'm just not going to do that. And I think whatever I get, I'll just get from Saks. So I'll look around there. I could go tomorrow and find something from Saks. Well, Alex said he don't want to go to the store tomorrow. I don't need anything new. So I was like looking through my closet and I was like, what fits in here? So this is the thing. I have these cute jeans that I like that I want to wear tomorrow, and I want to wear those black Oxfords that I got from Untamed Street because they're real comfortable and I like how they look. And the jeans come like, they're a little bit like high. They come up a little bit high, and I like that on jeans. So I want to wear those jeans with whatever I wear. And so I'm either going to wear very basic. I found this black shirt in my closet. I actually washed it today, and I'm going to iron it and stuff. And oh, there she is. She's back in her yard again. And it's just a plain black button-down shirt, but the collar isn't buttoned down. I'm either gonna wear that, roll up the sleeves with the jeans, and it like the fit on it, it like comes right below like the top of my jeans, so it would look really good with jeans. The thing is, it's a little bit tight on my stomach, but not super tight. Like, I tried it on. Alex was like, no, I think it looks great. And I'm like, it's a little tight. I don't know. We'll see. So that's gonna be one of my first options. The second option, I actually took a picture of this outfit that I liked. Let me show you. Well, I really like this outfit with Daniel Craig, where he's wearing like a t-shirt and a leather jacket. I have a leather jacket that I could wear with that would be very casual, kind of like, I know, like Tom Cruise, Top Gun. The thing is, I think, well, my leather jacket's different, so it would look a little bit edgier. And I don't want to wear, like, I wouldn't wear a t-shirt with it. The thing is that it's supposed to be like 70 degrees tomorrow night, 75 degrees. There's no way I can't do that. So then I saw this picture, which is like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a sport coat. It's like a tweed sport coat with like this vest and then like a jean shirt. And I thought, I could wear a jean shirt. This is what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about wearing a jean shirt. I have like vintage vests up in my closet. I gotta see if any of them fit. With a vintage vest, the shirt tucked into the jeans with the black. And then here you can see there's like this scarf in the pocket of the jacket. I wouldn't wear a jacket because it's going to be too hot for that. But I would put the scarf on the vest. And I actually have this button that's like this vintage button that I love that says I am loved. And I'm thinking about maybe wearing that on the vest too. I love like denim on denim. That's like one of my favorite things. And that would dress it up a little bit. Alex's outfit's very casual. And people were like, well, you could do something like very dressy and Alex could be very casual. I could, but I'm not going to. Because I want to be comfortable tomorrow. Comfort is everything to me. So for tomorrow, I want to be very, very comfortable. And I don't know. I have a couple other options. I pulled some other shirts. I have some shirts in the basement that are on the hangers down there. So I've got some other options. I'll figure out something. I'm not stressed about it, which is so funny because I usually get really worried about what I'm going to wear. Probably because I've lost a little bit of weight, so I don't worry so much about it anymore. But I usually like totally panic, like, oh my God, what am I going to wear and all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm not stressed about that this year. Is it 8 o'clock yet? Oh, almost. 18 minutes till 8. But yeah, I'm not stressed about that this year. I just want to have fun. Plus, I think last year, like, I dressed more casual last year. And, like, the year that I had gone with my friend, she wore a dress and I wore, like, that was when I was her date. And I wore a suit. And there were so many people there that had suits on. I was just like, I feel like I look like just like everybody else. And last year when I wore like the Western shirt with the jeans and the Doc Martens, so many people were like, oh my God, you look so cute and you look so different than everybody else. I want to do something that's a little bit different. Unless I'm just going to go for total comfort and wear the jeans and the black shirt. I mean, it'll still look sharp, but then I'll do that and just be like, because that way I could just like move and do whatever and dance and have fun. And then I won't be so worried about, you know, I just don't want to wear, and of course I'll, you know, have a bag, but I don't want to wear anything that's going to be like super, super uncomfortable or super hot. I don't want to carry like, the camera stopped. I can't believe I'm at an hour and a half already. I don't want to, like have to carry a jacket around because I get too hot and all that kind of stuff. I've got to think that part through. Comfort for me today, anywhere I go, is like 100%. Well, I think I explained this last year. Alex and I were going to wear suits. Like he had a suit pulled out and I was like, if Alex wears a suit, I guess I'll wear a suit. And then at the last minute, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I kind of want to go casual. And I called Melissa and Jason and I said, what are you wearing? And she's like, we're both going pretty casual. Jason wore like jeans and like a button down and a leather jacket and like nice shoes. And Melissa wore like a long skirt and then she had like this jersey top on. And she carried like a really nice purse, and she had like a Chanel purse that had like, you fit your hand into it. It was like a clutch, but it said like Chanel across it and you fit your hand in, but it was very casual and she wore like Golden Goose shoes with it. And so I was like, I said to Alex, I got off the phone with her and I was like, I think they were on the way is when I talked to her. Maybe it was before they were ready. I don't really remember. But I said to Alex, I said, if they're going to go casual, I'm definitely going to go casual. And he was like, okay, if you're going to go casual, then I will too. And that was why we didn't like dress up super like, but there are people there that will have like evening gowns on and tuxes. And then there will be people there that have like literally like jeans and a t-shirt on. It'll be like a whole gamut. So that's the one thing about this event that I love is that, well, I find that really at a lot of events anymore, unless it's like a black tie wedding or black tie dinner or something. I find that at like a lot of events that I go to. That, I mean, it's not like I'm going to tons of events, but when I do, you know, whether it's just like a birthday party dinner or a wedding or whatever, that like, well, that's not true. At Fufu and Jesse's wedding, like, I would say almost all the young people were really dressed up there, which kind of surprised me. Some of the people that were like my age that were there, like the parents of like some of the friends and stuff like that, were like in khakis and like a polo shirt. But even that's like dressier than some things I see. So I'm not really worried about it. I just want to be really, really comfortable. So whatever I wear tomorrow will be about comfort, not about look. I mean, of course I want to look good, but I was trying to get some inspiration, but I think it's like, so it's supposed to be the same tomorrow as it is tonight, or right now, and it is, let's look at the temperature right now. I mean, it's warm enough right now that if I had a leather jacket on, I'd be dying. Yeah, it's 75 and cloudy. And tomorrow, let's see, the temperature tomorrow, 82. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow than it was today. So that might be a pass. I think, see, this is where I'm thinking, like, I think sometimes when you go just very simple, it comes across better. See, I'm convincing myself. Because I really like this black shirt. I really want to wear this black shirt. I think it's like a Donna Karan shirt or something like that. It's just like plain black shirt with the jeans and the black Oxfords. I think it would look very like, kind of like street style London 1990 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking in my head anyway. I know it won't come across that way at all. It'll come like a dad 2024 wearing a button-down collared shirt to a graduation. Is probably what it'll come across, but I don't really care as long as I'm comfortable. So yeah, so that's tomorrow, and that'll be fun, and then I think I'm just going to relax a little bit, unless I film a vlog tomorrow, but I probably won't. I mean, this vlog is like over an hour and a half, and I already posted a vlog earlier today, so I'll let people catch up a little bit. I won't film and watch, I'll say that, and then tomorrow I'll film an hour. I probably won't film a super, super long vlog tomorrow, so... Alright, well, I'm going to get off here now, do a real short outro for a long vlog. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday and a fantastic beginning to your weekend. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!